Hello. Hello. I realized I didn't have the stream muted. I didn't have my mic muted at all this whole time. I just wasn't saying anything. I hope I wasn't talking to myself again out loud. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Vixen. Let's head over here. Yes, it's time once again. Hello, eggs. It's time once again. For fingers. Yes, fingers. It's time to paint some minis. And also we're going to talk about Warhammer. And also my dogs are swarming me. Also bark redeem. No, not that one. There we go. Rah. 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 There. How dare you? Ah! And you punched me. I can't believe. Yes. But today was a day of reveals by Games Workshop. How dare you? How dare. How dare. And I have opinions. I have opinions. I have thoughts. Some good. Some not so good. It was a mixed bag. It was a very mixed bag of reveals today. But, and Warhammer Twitter is going to be very interesting for the next couple days. How's your day been? Little A, little B. Oh, hello, Piper. It's been okay. Kind of a blur, really. I've been working from home because the parents are off in Jamaica. So it's just been a day of sitting here in my office all day. Let me change over the music. Piper. Piper's knocking over the table. I hope everything's going well for everyone. I hope things are going well for everyone. Piper, go. Get. She is being very, very pushy today. But yeah, so what should we talk about first? The world is on fire and I am running on Dr. Pepper, so as usual. That sounds about right. I was gonna say that sounds about right. That sounds like Cookie. We had our little man here. I really should keep Kick open over here. I do have Kick open over here. No, sir, no. El Band. There we go. I started streaming on the green site, right? And you know, and you know, you start streaming on a new site and you just get bots galore. Bots galore. Come over to me at my website or my Discord and I can make you really big. Ugh. Disgusting. But remember, we painted this guy last time. We're still working on his claws. And we still need to finish his base. But he's almost there. He's almost done. There's a couple places I want to touch up on him before we move on. But, yeah. So we're going to start with all the Games Workshop stuff today. The company that perpetually vexes me. The company that perpetually vexes me by giving me something good with one hand and slapping me with the other. And it's like, here's something you want, and then I'm going to hit you with this one. Where to start? I guess we'll start with the positives first. We'll start with the positives of the reveal today, and we'll move on to the negatives after. That's the idea. To give me whiplash? But, so, today they had a bunch of model reveals. Lots of model reveals. They had two basically new sub-faction reveals. Not really new, but sub-factions that hadn't really gotten a lot of attention that I did like. Those would be the Red Corsairs and the Eldar Corsairs. Basically pirates. Which I like that they did both the Corsairs factions together. I thought that was very cute. I thought that was very cute of them. So, both these factions being the Red Corsairs, for instance, I guess we should go over them first. They are basically a piratical raiding faction of renegade space marines who have fallen to chaos, but they aren't part of the original legions that fell to chaos. They're made up of basically an amalgam of a bunch of different chaos warbands and renegade space marines, run by Huron Blackheart. And they spend most of their time in the Eye of Terror, not the Eye of Terror, the Maelstrom, which is similar to the Eye of Terror, but not quite the same thing. And they spend their time over there raiding Imperial supply ships and basically making little pirate empires and fortresses in the Maelstrom. And they're pretty cool. I like them. I've liked them ever since the Badab Wars. Which the Badab War was a war that was started because Space Marines didn't want to pay their taxes to the Administratum, which is something I can agree with wholeheartedly. But yeah. All right, no, I had to hit shot. I did that wrong. Hold on. Realized that I had that on loop. Well, I meant to have that on shuffle. I want to loop the entire playlist when we reach the end. That's what I want to do. Okay, so I do like that the Red Corsairs are getting a lot of attention. They got a new model for Huron Blackheart, which is a model I don't really like, but it's not a bad model. It's just his face is goofy. His face looks... I slapped my mic. His face looks really goofy. It looks really goofy. Maybe I can show it. Hi, Flip. It's like he has big mouth, and he looks like Metallo. Has anyone ever seen the Superman animated series? Remember if anyone's seen that, remember that guy who had a half flesh face, a half metallic face, his name was Metallo? And his one claim to fame was just having a kryptonite heart to beat Superman. He looks like Metallo. he looks like him. And his face is just like a big mouth with like, I'm like, ah! Like, he looks so fucking goofy. I like the rest of his armor, but his face just looks ridiculous. I mostly know him from the comics. Yeah, most people know him from the comics, but he was always like a D-list supervillain who basically his only power was he was a robot with a track jaw with He-Man. Yeah, kinda. Let me see if I can. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I can find a picture of him pretty quick. You're on Blackheart. Images. Here we go. We'll do that, and then I'll just come over to OBS. We'll add a browser source. So you can just see this really quick. This should work. Yeah, okay, so that's him. That's what he looks like. And he just looks fucking ridiculous. He just looks so silly. Let me see if I can make him a little bigger for you. Look at that mouth. Look at that. Ah! Come over here and give me a kiss. Awful. Awful face. enough of making fun of look at that hand. This hand? A face maybe a mother could love. Yeah, maybe. Debatable, but maybe. So yeah, his face looks but the rest of the model looks nice. I like his power claw flamer that he has. It looks nice and really meaty, and I like that about it. And we have to touch in here. If you look closely, you can see a bit of white down there. There we go. We're just touching up some spots that I noticed that I didn't get last time first. And then we'll move on to the other part, which was getting these power claws done. He can really backhand you next year. He could backhand you next year. He could grab you and dig you with his little power claw fingernail things. And then he can also just shoot you with his heavy flamer that's embedded in the gauntlet's palm. There's a heavy flamer right there in the palm. And he'll just go whoosh. It's so cool. I love it. And this was the thing with his old model too. This was the thing with his old model too. And I always liked Huron. Huron was always cool, but I like his old model. I would say I'm much more of a fan of his old model than his new model. But it is what it is. There's also, he got a bunch of new units too for the Red Corsairs, which is pretty nice. They got a new Apothecary model, an Executioner, which both of them look pretty cool. They got they got a, how do I describe her? They got a human commander who is basically responsible for fleet-based actions, right? She's usually the one leading the ships. But because Games Workshop really want to make I guess they really just wanted to add a woman to the Red Corsair group, to the Red Corsair head cadre. She's also a character model that has like a podium that floats around that she can, quote, do boarding actions with. And like it's a large floating dais that apparently she uses when they are trying to board an enemy ship, enemy spaceship, by the way, that she will float this dais across whatever method they're using the board, get into the enemy ship, and then use the mechadendrites from this dais to start taking over the ship. I'm just imagining this human commander with her like 18 red television screens, like 18 red panel screens, just floating across an active firefight. I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah, sure, that'll go well. Yeah, that'll go well for her. There's a reason captains are usually on the bridge and not part of boarding actions, but what do I know about anything, I guess? We're just getting this little skull right here. She's a weird model. And then the other model that's just as weird. Now, the Red Corsairs aren't so discriminatory, I guess you could say. They'll take help from basically anyone. Even though they are incredibly xenophobic. They'll still take the help of Xenos, bounty hunters, and things like that. Which is why another part of the cadre is called the Enforcer. Which, I'm gonna be honest, the alien there looked like an alien from fucking Mass Effect. It looks like a Mass Effect alien. I don't like this model at all. Let me see, can I find her? Let me find her. I'll show you. Hold on. The Enforcer. No, wrong keyboard. Wrong keyboard. Hold on. The Enforcer. Red Corsair. Images. Where is she? Here, well, there we go. Okay, here we go. We can just go boom, over. Ah, here we are. Let's see if I can get this on. See if I get this on the OBS properly. Does that? I don't think that really worked. I don't think that really worked at all, actually. Nope, I don't think that worked at all. Well, shit. I'm gonna get an image of her. Here, I'll just have to do this. Save image as. Take that PNG. Go here, go here. Go here. Here we go. Image 13. Browse. Download. Alright, so this lady. This thing. Is the enforcer for the Red Corsairs. And I'm just saying. These two look like Mass Effect characters. Not 40k aliens. You know, they just don't really seem to fit the aesthetic. I like they look pretty ridiculous. I don't like her model. That's the best I can really say. That like she looks like a Mass Effect alien. Get that bird there. And it really irks the shit out of me that she looks like a Mass Effect alien. I don't really know why it irks me so much. Cause like it's not really out of the realm of like something the Red Corsairs wouldn't do. But maybe it's cause like she's all the way up to like the rank of she is Huron's enforcer. And I just don't believe any Xenos creature would ever get to the rank of enforcer within the ranks of the Red Corsairs and be accepted. Like, I just don't believe that. But maybe that's just me. That just might be me. What is this? Let's skip this song. We're gonna skip that song. So the cohort's kind of like 50-50. Half of them look really good. The other half look kind of weird. Look kind of strange. I wonder if you can take Huron. I hope you can take Huron individually. And I don't have to take his whole fucking cohort with him. Because that'd be annoying. That'd be vexing. But maybe. Maybe. Let's see. What color did I make these claws? I think I made them Imperial Navy. I think that's what I did. The rest of the stuff of the Red Corsairs looked really good. I like the Raiders. The Red Corsairs Raider unit. They really are just a mishmash of Renegade Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines kind of meshed together, which is how they should be. They should look like I like how they have different breastplates from like they have like 4th pattern Heresy pattern armor. They have the beak helmets from the 6th edition pattern, from the not 6th edition, the Mark 6 power armor and the Mark 4 power armor. They have chest plates from like Mark 3, and like they're very hodgepodge and kind of like thrown together with all kinds of different armor pieces, like a renegade piratical force that makes a living scrounging off everyone else they can possibly get their hands on. That makes sense. I like that. And aesthetically, it all looks pretty good. It all comes together really well. And there's nice little diversity amongst them where they come, because they come from a large variety of different chapters, and even some of their chapters, like Heraldry, still mix it into the model. Like the kill team, for instance, the Red Corsair kill team of the Space Wolves that went Renegade. That's a really cool thing. I really like that. Failed to authenticate WebSocket. Please make sure that your tokens dashboard's correct. What the fuck was that? Did you guys see that in the top left corner? That was weird. It's gone now. Strange. Very odd. Very odd. Oh. Apparently we have a YouTube side? I'm sorry to say, Mr. Turkey, I seem to have missed your messages, which is weird. My setup should have caught you. Has my platform not connected? No, my platform didn't connect. I'm sorry, I missed you. Bonnie guy. Well, I missed him. Unfortunate. I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I missed you. I forgot to turn on the YouTube side chat, so I missed it. Apparently, Vixen gave. Apparently, I've been given a hydrate. I've been so focused on what I've been saying. I haven't paid attention to so many things. I've been focused. But yeah. Overall, I would say the Red Corsairs is pretty good. Oh, hi from YouTube. I can't chat on Twitch. Oh no, Silver. But hello on the YouTube side. Why can't you chat on Twitch? Did you get banned from everyone? Has everyone sent you to the Shadow Realm, Silver? No, wait, hold on. I pressed the button I didn't mean to. Hold on. We're good? Okay, we're good. Alright, we're good. Oh, Jesus. Alright, back to this claw. God, would appear so. Why do you keep starting conflicts with everyone? Must you start a fight with everyone? I didn't even do anything. A likely story, Silver. A likely story. Yeah, but that whole share ban list does hit a lot of people, doesn't it? I got banned on Pen's stream. I can't talk to Pen on Pen the Elf on her stream at all. I don't know why though. She doesn't even know why I can't talk on her stream. I'm touching up these claws. You know, reapply the Imperial Navy blue. But then there's the remove your innocent, Magic Man. But the what else? There were also the Eldar Corsairs that got model reveals as well, and they're pretty cool. I like them. I really don't have any complaints about them at all. I can't really think of anything, at least. They looked like Eldar. The models looked pretty cool. Nothing really stuck out to me as being an issue. I would say of all the models today, they were the best. Well, almost the best. Yeah, they're pretty much the best out there. I liked their Farseer with the weird alien bug eyes. It's really cool. Hey, Teddy. Back to Warhammer models. Yeah, we're talking about we're painting Warhammer models and talking about Warhammer models, and we're gonna get to the Femstodes today. We're gonna get to the Femstodes soon. Which, yeah, Games Workshop decided to double, triple, and quadruple the fuck down on the Femstodes thing. So, we gotta talk about it. But first, I gotta repaint over this guy's parts. Let me get this. And this, and this. But yeah, all the Eldar stuff was really good today, I think. I want to talk about Absolute Nightmare model, talk about Typhus's metal. I love Typhus's metal model. I have one on the shelf right in the other room. I love him. Don't you dare. You insult my boy like this? No, the old metal one. The old, like, 4th edition metal, the 3rd or 4th edition metal one. Where he was just a big chunky Terminator with a scythe. I don't like the new one. I'm gonna be honest with you. The new one, I think, is a little too over detailed. But that might be my old man eyes going on. Terminator Cauldron armor, yes. Where it was just, where it weighed like a fistful of gold. He looked like his helmet was stuffed into a cauldron. He looks like it, and he feels like he was made from a cauldron because he's heavy as fuck. It's a good kind of chunky model, you know. Boo! Hello, Beak. How dare you frighten me like this? I'm startled. El Spookto. But yeah, the Eldar got a bunch of new stuff. They're making a new Viper model for the Eldar. They're getting an updated Viper, which is pretty cool. Viper, I don't think the Viper was really looked bad at all, but they decided that it needed an update, so they're giving it a new one. I'm a Ravenguard fan, and you think I'm not gonna sneak up on you? I think you'll come to the front door as you're supposed to and wipe your feet. Wipe your damn feet. Let's see, what are we doing? The newish model's a fucking monstrosity. The new Typhus, the quote, new Typhus model that's like 5 years old at this point is like, it hurts me emotionally. The pose on the scythe itself is not, like, the pose itself I don't think is bad, but, like, there's so much shit all over him. And every time I look at him and go, think of the prospect of painting him, I'm already exhausted. The fucking, the old, the five Nurglings on him, the flies, the plumage clouds, like, oh my god. Oh, so much. It hurts me emotionally. It hurts me on a spiritual level. You don't understand. Yeah, old Typhus, the Hive Carrier, new Typhus, Nurgling Day Carrier. Yeah, pretty much. Though I hear that the Death Guard are super fun to get to play against in 10th edition. With their, we walk up and you take unavoidable damage. Truly, I can see why everyone loves them. What do we want? We want Bright Sapphire. Let me think of the blues that I want. I mean, they are Walking Blight. Yeah, but it's just like, it's one of those things, you know? It's one of those things that people don't want to play against, you know? Where it's just like, oh yes, I really enjoy just standing here and dying with no interaction whatsoever. Really just makes you, it makes you feel really good, doesn't it? Makes you feel like you're really playing the game. I know Yu-Gi-Oh players love it when basically the game ends on the first turn. You can talk to a Yu-Gi-Oh player about how much they love when the enemy goes to a 10,000 card combo, and then at the end of it basically goes, you're completely locked out of the game, shake my hand, you lose. It's great, it feels good. And it was always the thing about, right, Death Guard, right? They're supposed to be Walking Blight that merely even standing next to them does fuckloads, does damage to you. It's gonna suck if you're not in power armor. But, and the way Games Workshop tries to portray that has always been dodgy. Sometimes it's just fucking broken as hell. And then sometimes it's just not a non-existing. It's just non-existing. You just don't even notice it. So it's just kind of one of those things. But like, apparently in 10th edition, no one likes them at the moment. Everyone fucking hates them. So, you know, let's thin this paint down a bit with a few drops of my War Painter Retarder. But I haven't touched 10th edition in a while, so I don't really know if that's, I don't know how much of what I'm saying is true. Maybe none of what I'm saying is true. Who knows? So Mazmad's old rending talons, scything claws. That's because that shit was broken. That's because that fucking guy. Yeah, we talked about that, and I said, and I'm gonna say it before. I'm gonna say what I said last time. I'm gonna say it again. All right. That rule clearly has a way that you're supposed to run it, but if you want to be that guy, you could just you're gonna argue about how it. But rules as written, it actually works like this. It clearly isn't supposed to work that way. You're being a douchebag. You're being a douchebag. I'm going to kill you. Like, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's clear. It clearly was a rule that wasn't that well written that people are abusing. That isn't supposed to work that way. And instead of just, you know, a gentleman's agreement on how it works, he instead decides to be an asshole. Which can't do anything about that. But at least when it comes to Death Guard, right? Let me see how this is thin out. This is. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. That should work. Those who abuse the rules and those who know how it's supposed to work. Alright, let's try to put some. But eventually I'll get onto the subject I want to talk about. But yeah, like, it's always been a problem with Games Workshop and the over detailing of models. Going back to the previous subject we were talking about, like the further we've gone on in 40K, the more models are getting ridiculous levels of detail, and it's getting more and more physically exhausting to look at them, much less even paint them. Even looking at them is physically exhausting. Let me get go out of my brush. Just gonna glaze some layers on this. Yeah, I remember the rules that you told me about for the rending talents. I remember. So it's not, for something like Kenpachi and Bleach, letting the enemy know where it is. What do you mean? What do you mean, Teddy? I'm a little confused. What I missed? Nothing much. We're just painting the model. I've been talking about describing some different models. We've been talking about the over details of some models. I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit while I apply. I'm going to be doing some glazes of this lighter blue onto these lightning claws and build up some layers. Oh, that's what you mean. The model wears change for a similar reason. A space marine is not a subtle creature, all right? aside from the man, I'm sure that's in the YouTube side, looking at me saying that right now, go, oh, Raven Guard. Shut up. Except for you, but no one talks about you. I know you're there. I know you're there. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the other Space Marines. The Space Marines are not a very subtle creature. But no, this guy wears chains so he can't drop his swords. Space bronies. But this model wears chains so that because he's very clumsy and he'll drop his weapons if he doesn't have them, you know. Very silly. It's very silly. What should I do in the meantime while I wait for that? I want to make sure that this dries all the way properly before I touch it again with any more layers of blue. Where it's going to be thinly attached. We'll work on this guy. Work on this Emperor's Champion. We have to do a lot of layering on him. We have to do a lot of, not layering, edge highlighting. I still have to do a bunch of that edge highlighting. But, what was I saying? Yeah, but the Eldar reveals for today were really good. I like the leader of the Eldar Corsairs. His model looks really good. I like the bug-eyed Farseer. Nothing really stuck out as being like as really being like a bad or as being a problem at all. Everything looked pretty Eldar. It reminded me of some of the older Corsair models I saw in 7th edition. Looked pretty cool. Can't wait to 3D print them and paint them myself. Can't wait to 3D print them myself so I don't have to give Games Workshop any money. But I guess we can move on to the elephant in the room. They had a bunch of reveals for Age of Sigmar, but no one gives a fuck about Age of Sigmar. So I guess we should get on to the real argument here. The Femstodes. They had a reveal at the end of the I need to be careful with this. They had a reveal at the end of the stream where it became reality. The Femstodes have arrived. Whereas opposed before, where it was just whispers in the dark, where it was just one episode of the Ties and some references in the 10th edition codex. They have now revealed themselves, and also it would seem that my streamer bot has died for some reason. Why has my streamer bot died? Hold on. That would explain why I can't see anyone. If anyone's talking, I can't see them. What happened here? Cat, did you do something? Log in there. Log in here. Interesting that all that just decided to die. Serving the clients, WebSocket, start. Alright, that should work. Did I miss anything from anyone? Hydrate from eggs, thank you. How? I have no idea how it died. Faithful, Space Arch, Bronies, yes. Okay, so I may have missed some chat. Let me go around. Let me go around and make sure I haven't missed anyone. Nope, didn't miss anyone there. Let me refresh this page, make sure I didn't miss anyone here. Nope, we appear to be okay. Alright. Alright, we appear to be okay. We appear to be alright. But yes, I don't know why that closed. That just closed for some reason. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so there. Now we're back online. I hope everyone is still yapping. Even though apparently I couldn't see you if you're yapping. But yes, but now Games Workshop has stopped pussyfooting around. And they fully committed to the Femstodes. They now have models, and they're coming in for a Horse Heresy. And they're even going so far as to try to gaslight their community again. Did you see the Proto-Robo release? I did. I was going to get to that. I was gonna get to that. Well, did you see the teaser trailer at the end of the live stream today? That's clearly for Proto-Robo. It may not be as fake as you think. It may not actually be fake. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm going to talk about the Femstodes for a second. I'm gonna get everything off my chest about that. Where to begin with that? I don't like it, but I think that's kind of obvious at this point that I don't like it. Paint there. If it's not fake, if GW fucked up the shoulder pads, well, who knows what he actually looks like. We don't know what he actually looks like yet. We just saw some some teaser images. So we don't know what he actually looks like just yet. That image of what he actually looks like may not actually be him. What I hate is the fan base followed like Rabbit Dogs of Tabros, the largest space marine, and Manny's just in modified Terminator plate. Well, I mean, he is the largest space marine. And so they just go, he's in modified Terminator plate so he can fit in something. So they give him a power armor of some kind. But yeah, it's not very good, I would say, for the Femstode thing. It's the I always thought of him having like cacti shoulder pads, which would probably change when he became a Demon Prince. It would probably change when he became a Demon Prince. Eventually, I'm gonna get on the fucking subject I want to talk about here. Everyone distracts me with several other talking points. We'll get to them. We'll get to them. All right. The models that have been revealed, I don't think are very good. Like anyone looking at them, the Abby, I'm getting a little tired of you pushing my mouse around over there. Get out of here. But the models don't look very good. They look a lot thinner than a regular Custodes. They're a lot thinner than regular Custodes. They're smaller. Their chests are not as like broad or a barrel chested as they used to be. The proportions seem kind of fucked, and they don't. And they look like a Custodes who they look like a Custodian who went on an all vegan diet and it lost like all of his bulk. That's what they look like. And it looks so fucking weird. And again, it's just, you know, Custodians get, we're now retconning lore and Games Workshop's, gaslighting people again. So, Custodians officially have all finished their transcendent surgery, normal treatment. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And Games Workshop's back to trying to gaslight the community that women have always been into Custodians. What are you talking about? They've always been wearing their helmet, so we never really knew whether they were a man or a woman. And like trying to lie to people again, which is what they did the last time they did this, where they lied again. Like, fucking hell, just stop lying. Just say you wanted to change the lore. I'd respect you more for it. Pick a story and stick with it. Yeah, pick a story and stick with it. Jesus Christ. But yeah, they just don't look very good. And then I also pointed out that one of the captains looked like the captain that they have with a female head looks like Margaret Thatcher. Oh, they'll change that next, don't worry. But yeah, no, they're committing to it, and the usual suspects come out and they're going, oh, this is great, it's amazing, we would get one over on the chuds, and you know, that usual kind of crap. This is thinning out really fast. Why is it thinning out so fast? Put some retardant in that. I'm sitting at my desk and do offense Space Marines are gonna be canon. They're gonna be. The only reason they didn't do it before was because everyone freaked the fuck out about the female Custodes. The female Custodes were just a test run to see if they could get away with it. And if there's not much of a backlash on this one, they're next. All this flat paneling. God damn it, yeah, well. No, Games Workshop wants to expand their market to women, which doesn't really work. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of problems with that. Like, for starters, one of the problems with it is that it's lazy as fuck. Like, the way you can't get around this, the argument you can't get around is that this is just lazy. We have Sisters of Silence. Don't we already have Sisters? Yeah, we have the Sisters of Silence. And instead of expanding the Sisters of Silence, they instead went, no, we have female Custodes now. And and we could expand this into other realms too. Like, for instance, like take the Well, take the Black Space Wolves, or the Black Alpha Legionnaire that they released recently, and those are just, we want more representation in the Space Marines, and it's just like, well, why don't we make the Celestial Lions a faction then? The Celestial Lions have been a sub-faction of Space Marines for a while, and they're an all-black Space Marine faction, and everyone loves them because they flipped off the Inquisition. But instead, they just go to the fucking people who live on a frost world and start making them black, or go to the Alpha Legion and start making them black. And it's just like, why are you being so lazy about this? Why? I know why they're picking the Space Wolves. It's because Space Wolves are popular, for instance, and they're just making arbitrary changes because they're popular, and they can just, and it's easier for them to do it with that than is actually making a whole new faction. And it's just laziness. At the end of the day, it just comes down to laziness. And people won't call them out on this. There's people who just would say that this is all just a good thing. It's all just great. And the people who are doing that are all just doing it because it aligns with their sensibilities. It aligns with their sensibilities and their beliefs. And it makes it aggravating. It's Alfarius' fault. Blame the Hydra. I will blame the Hydra. It's all just rather aggravating to deal with, you know? People who just don't care about the lore of this game. They just don't. And instead of getting on Games Workshop ass about being lazy, they're instead getting on everyone else's ass for complaining about it. But it is what it is. We'll ride this until the end and see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe it'll all turn out well in the end. Maybe Games Workshop will just go, after the backlash for the Custodies, go, we're not doing the Space Marines, and just move on, but I doubt that's going to happen. But speaking of the models specifically, the only models I really like out of the Femstodes line are the plastic Contemptor Dreadnoughts, and their Gravis tanks are now in plastic. Which is the only thing I can really praise out of it. At least those are plastic now, as opposed to being Forge World resin. But I'm not buying any of that fucking line. So... so it means very little to me. You know? And you can tell this was a really popular decision. Pain Dio. Yes, Pain Pecco. And you can tell this was a very popular decision. As, when did we partially connected? But you can tell this was a very popular decision because people ended up immediately, what's going on with this thing? Oh, it's GLaDOS. That's why it's not popping up on here. That makes sense. Sleep calls to me. You should sleep, Egg. You should sleep. Because, like, as soon as they announced that, as soon as they revealed it, the stream went wild. You know, I believe it is Tony Hawk. You're right. Tony Hawk is the only one who we can trust. But anyway, moving on. I can rant about this for a while, but it's silly, it's ridiculous, and whatever's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. The only people who could... You can't force people who don't care about Warhammer to care about Warhammer. So I'm just gonna go off and do my own thing. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go play 4th edition. I'm gonna 3D print my models and not give any money to Games Workshop. And I'm gonna continue on like that. Continue on like so. Because you don't really... for all the doom and gloom out there, right? You don't need Games Workshop to enjoy Warhammer. You don't. Anything they're doing, anything people who are going out with 10th edition, who are unironically praising all this in the most uncritical way, you can just, you don't need any of them. You don't need a damn bit of any of them to enjoy this hobby. There have been so many editions of Warhammer, and apparently my paint has frozen. My paint is hardened. How did this gloss over already? I might just switch to Heresy. Well, I mean, to point out, son, the Custodies announcement was for Heresy. That was a Horus Heresy box set with the Femstodes. Don't think escaping the Heresy will save your ass. Unless you mean old Heresy. There we go. But yeah. No, you don't need Games Workshop to enjoy this stuff. Hell, you don't need to buy anything from Games Workshop to play 40k or Horus Heresy. All that shit's online for free. All that shit's online for free. I've never given them an ounce of respect. No, I never really cared about the Custodies either. As a faction. I cared about them as a lore, their lore, and as a principle, right? It's the principle of the thing. I don't like them changing the lore of any faction. I'm getting them sent. Good stuff, good. Like, you don't need Games Workshop for anything. So I say just go enjoy Warhammer in your way. In the old ways like everyone used to. And they can burn the franchise to the ground if they want to. What does it matter to us? So what, all the people who don't give a fuck about Warhammer will leave when it stops being popular? Oh, what a shame that'll be. We'll still be here playing it. It's what you make of it. Well, Star Wars is a bit harder to do than that, isn't it? Star Wars isn't really a game property, right? It has some movies, but like 40k is a universe that's been built up upon by so many different people that you can cut out all of 8th edition and after, and you will basically have lore for ages. Lore for ages, and you'll be fine. I don't know about Star Wars, though. I don't know about that. Looks like Star Wars mods for random games. Well, I mean, if we're talking about the Starfield Star Wars mod, then you might have a point there. Oh man, I'm really fucking up the edge highlighting on this. His armor panels are so rounded and smooth, it's kind of hard to tell the exact spot I can actually do some edge highlighting at. Oh, that is a cool looking mod. It is a cool mod. It is a cool mod. Have you guys seen it? It's the Starfield. Someone made a mod for Starfield that like changes the entire game to be Star Wars. And like it's not like a small mod too. Like it's a big mod. They change a lot. I almost considered getting Starfield for that. I considered it too, but I don't want to buy Starfield. Speaking of Todd Howard, I hear the new Fallout show, the new season of the Fallout show is getting panned by everyone. Well, it's getting panned by Fallout fans. Really? I've been seeing a lot of Twitter posts about it. People are really not cool about the way the season's going. I thought they did well the first show. I didn't. But I haven't watched the second season yet. People are... But apparently the second season's worse. Apparently the second season's like worse in every way. To Fallout fans, at least. Because in the first Fallout season, they were pretty kind to it, I would say. But now there ain't no fucking kindness. Ain't none whatsoever. I enjoyed the first season. I'll be honest, I think the first season blew. I heard what they did to the shrimp. Yeah, I heard what they did to the shrimp. I heard what they did to the Elvis gang. I heard what they did to the house. It apparently really feels like that, it really seems like Todd Howard, or if getting heavily involved in the writing, and he fucking hates New Vegas. He fucking hates New Vegas. Yeah, but honestly, I thought the first season of Fallout sucked. Like, massive balls. To be honest with you. I did not think the writing for it was very good. We can talk about that if you guys want. I'm fine with talking about that show. New Vegas has so many great quests and characters. It does. It's, again, the best thing that's come out of Fallout ever since Bethesda took over it. Which Todd Howard hates it for it. Todd Howard hates that so fondly remembered. Unlike Fallout 4, which is not as fondly remembered. Oh, God, I'm really fucking up this edge highlighting. I'm basically painting over it. What do you think of the ghoul? What can I really think of the ghoul? He really is... He's a character, I guess. Like, his past stuff... Like him himself, I guess really isn't that bad, but like, everything around him is fucking stupid. Right? Like, his backstory about his wife and the reveals we get through that are fucking awful. Like, all of that is fucking terrible. Alright, there's the little bit with, what's her name, Lucy? That he has that you think something would come of it, but not a whole lot does. The Rad-X addiction was odd to me. The Rad-X addiction was weird. The retconning of ghouls to need their little, which I think that was the Rad-X thing, but I'm not entirely sure about that. To need that cure, or else they'll go feral and mad. That was fucking stupid. Because it doesn't make sense how the fuck that could even work. It was Rad-X. It was Rad-X? Okay. It doesn't make sense on how that would work. That doesn't make any sense. Because, like, what? Is this a recent discovery? Because it can't be before this point. Because the ghouls never needed this before. So where the fuck did this come from? You know? Like, where the fuck did this come from? And then there was the everything in the past with his communist friend and the fucking the lady trying to make infinite power, and she's being targeted because of that, because she's such a good person, even though because she's actually the hero of the story. Well, not really the hero of the story, but she's actually not a villain like we thought she was, but actually she is, but she isn't. Well, actually she is, because she's a despicable person, but that's because the story doesn't understand that what she does is immoral and terrible. But what was it? I have to remember, because I have not watched this show in a year. And it's been like half a year. It's been like half a year. I watched it over the summer when I was in St. Croix. But yeah, like Moldover? That was her name, Moldover. She doesn't make any fucking sense, like, as a character. She acts completely different at the beginning of the show, because I'm quite certain the writers had no idea what they wanted to do with her. They had no fucking clue. But then they were just like, aha, surprise, she was actually a good guy the whole time. And I was like, why did she try to kill Lucy? She had a vested interest in Lucy, but apparently didn't care if she got killed in her sleep by the person that she put in the room with her. Didn't give a fuck about that, or she expected her raider to die to her for some reason. I don't know why she had such confidence. My bar is up. Stone, you need to raise your fucking bar up. Stone, you need to get that bar up. You need to get that bar up. Because this ain't it. Like, when you start going through all the characters, like, they're really... And, like, the ghoul scenes are all just plot convenience, right? Like, take the fight between Maximus and the ghoul, where the ghoul kills a bunch of people in the town because, God, he's just so fucking cool, isn't he? But it struggles to fight Maximus. Maximus is in the power armor. Oh, so he can't really do anything about that. So it's like, okay, so I mean, he can't really fight. He can't really, like, shoot through his power armor. But that fight sucks because it's just two invulnerable people. Well, it's not really two invulnerable people. It's Maximus, who can't be killed in his power armor, and the ghoul, who's not being killed because Maximus just won't grab him by the head and do this. He instead just ineffectually throws him around. And then when you get to the end of this her season, when the Brotherhood of Seals arrived with all their power armor, suddenly he goes, oh, I wonder if they fixed that seam that was on the breastplate of the armor, which didn't make any sense because it's a molded breastplate. Why would there be a seam there? But anyway, not important. It was just a bullshit plot convenience, just so that the ghoul could then take out all the power armor that he had no business being able to actually kill. Maximus was a bitch. Maximus is a bitch. He's a spineless coward and a despicable human. And it's just a despicable human. And people are like, oh, post-apocalypse. Like, there's no excuse for the things that Maximus does. But the way he was grew up with, you would think that he would be different, but he's not. For instance, when his friend gets injured, the one person who stood up for him in the entirety of the entire thing, and he was just like, he gets interrogated, right? And they go, like, oh, did you want him to did you injure him? Like, no, I didn't injure him, but I'm happy that it happened. Does that make me a bad person? And he's like, yeah, that makes you a bad person. Yeah, actually, wanting your friend to get injured because he got the role that you wanted makes you a bad person. And it's like, if that was just one thing, right, then it would just be the one thing, right? But Maximus, it would be a growing point for Maximus. It would be something for his character. But he's, again, terrible throughout the entirety of the show. He lets his knight die because his knight's stupid and threatened him. Which, I mean, you can argue that, okay, the knight was threatening him, though, so he's in his right to just let him slowly wither and die there. Man isn't a raider. He's a brother. He's a brother of steel. Yeah, that's the thing. The Brotherhood of Steel are completely different than a common raider. You would think that this immorality would be not in the Brotherhood of Steel, who have a strict code of ethics and ways you are supposed to behave. But the Brotherhood of Steel are acting autistic in general. They don't make any fucking sense at all. Like the knight in the power armor, who's a coward, who then somehow dies to the bear, to the rad bear. I can start going back to the gym next week. Woo! I'm also going to the gym next week. And yes, Teddy, get your gains. Get your gains, Teddy. Get your gains. But like the knight who dies to the bear, for instance. Crooked, I go 4 times a week. Oh my god, I only go 3. I only go 3. Man, you're crazy. You crazy, man. But yeah, like, now I was talking about that knight. The knight doesn't really make a lot of sense because he's just like, hey, he dies to a bear in power armor. I don't know how the fuck that bear even injured him. But like, while he's sitting there wheezing and dying, he just goes, God, I'm gonna heal me so I can go back to the Templars and tell them what a fuck up you are. God, you're so terrible. Not the Templars, the Brotherhood of Steel, and tell you how tough the bear was in power armor. Of course it was. And I started to tell them what a fuck up you are. Oh God, what the things they'll do to you when I tell them that you're a worthless squire. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? like he just keeps threatening him, and then he's just like, wait, why are you letting me die? Like, what the fuck was that character? What the fuck was that guy? Yeah, the bear was in power armor. Yeah, they're both in power armor. They're both in power armor, of course. Of course. Like, he just seemed like a character who was just there just to make it as convenient as possible. Why did they make him an asshole? Why was he such an asshole? And like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for his upbringing, who he is, and anything about him for him to be the way that he was. I think they just wanted to make him as morally repugnant as possible, just to make it easier for Maximus to take the power armor from him. And then Maximus goes around and starts interposing himself in every fucking situation because he's gotten high on the power of the power armor. As soon as he's got the power armor, now he's like, now time to impose my moral good upon everyone else. While wearing the power armor, he gets another squire. The squire then follows him around. To which he then once they get the head that they were looking for, he reveals to the squire that actually he's Maximus. And then and instead of just like shutting the fuck up until they got back to camp, he instead reveals it to the squire. The squire then rightfully freaks out a bit because you've just been playing a game of misidentity this whole time. And then when the squire's not going along with what he wants him to do, to lie for him to the Brotherhood of Steel, to help cover up what he did, he tries to fucking kill him. And then it's just like, oh no, Maximus has been sealed in his power armor because the fucking squire apparently gets a key that can just turn off the power armor and take the power core away. For some reason. I don't know why he has this. But anyway, not important. What is important is that Maximus tried to murder a man for his own fuck-ups. And then he gets bailed out by Lucy. Doesn't become a better person after this. Gets taken to the vault robs their power core, still was proceeding to leave after the misunderstanding that they were actually good people, not bad people, still proceeds to leave their base with their power core and has to be convinced by Lucy to put it back. He then agrees to some harebrained scheme of Lucy to use the Brotherhood of Steel to help save her father. And Maximus is just like Finn from fucking Star Wars. He's fully into that white girl puss. He's fully bitch whipped at this point. He agrees that, like, I will betray the people I have known for my whole life that I look up to get them into a fight that they have no business being in, all for the white girl. When I get back to the gym, I want to see how much I can deadlift. Has fallen off in 3 months. Oh, wow, probably a lot. Should have just joined one of the space furries. If only the space furries existed in Fallout universe. Then there's Lucy's. Then there's the fucking there's Lucy's character, and then there's Vault-Tec itself, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Because we have to pretend that Vault-Tec is correct on the idea that there's profit to be made in the end of the world, which is one of the dumbest fucking lines in TV history. And my was like, why the fuck this song sounds familiar? It's through the fire and flames. It's Dragon Force. Of course you know Dragon Force, right? But yeah, it's... God, it like, when you start breaking down what goes on in this show, it's really bad. It gets really bad. So no, I'm not surprised at all that the second season of Fallout is even worse than the first. I could believe that wholeheartedly. If I put on the floorboard with my eagle talent and see if I can make the 25 drive before it ended. So close. So close. But yet so far. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to a scene involving House, where he has a freak out moment in the show, apparently. And people have been comparing that to his freak out moment in the game. But apparently, House apparently freaks out all the time in the show. Yeah, but the visual prop department is the only department that actually gives a fuck about their job. Like, if we're talking about any department in movie making or TV making that gives a fuck about anything, it would be the prop department. The prop department cares a lot. Unfortunately, the writing and directing cannot be said to have the same opinion. Oh, not the teenager money. Yes, that time when you don't have any money, and then you beat the fuck out of your car. Huh. Oof. I remember I had my Mazda. My, like, 97 Mazda. Then I drove that thing until the fucking wheels fell off. I drove that thing until my parents basically forced me to get a new one. Ugh. Again, the edge highlighting on my on this model has not been as good. This model was far more crisp. This model was far more crisp. That thought their dad's Camaro or pickup was fast. Well, and was it? But was it fast? How fast was it? Did it get you to the scene of the accident? Because you were hauling ass. I need to do the next layer up on that. Yes, Sapphire. Let's try fixing that before I forget. Basilisk red mixed with some black. You care to my Dodge? The 12 how built the fuck out of it was snail. Are you saying your friend drove a slow car? I can't believe. And he came to challenge you with his snail trail. Insane. Yeah, that's... Let's add some more red to that. That car is a snail in comparison to what I have now. My god. The speed. The speed. A bit more red. Where was that? Where'd that basilisk red go? Where'd I throw it? Ah, here it is. There we are. Idle down the road 25 miles an hour. Nice. Nice. So I don't know how impressive that is. I don't know anything about cars. On a flute. That's clearly a violin. And that's Spider Dance. We are moving past that. I'm thinking. Oh, so I'm seeing Lord of the Rings in the movie theater next week. Yes, yes, Lord of the Rings. I'm very excited about that. I have not seen Lord of the Rings in the movie theater since I was a wee lad. Now, can I get this? Can I get this without splattering paint on it? Close. But not quite. Close, but not quite. I think we're almost the same age. Yeah, I think we're almost the same age. We're not that far apart from each other. But yeah, I'm excited to go see it in movie theaters. I haven't seen it in so long. In movie theaters. I should say in theaters specifically, because I've seen it, but I see it like once a year every year. So, it hasn't been that long since I've seen Lord of the Rings. To have to play back to back. I feel like they should have been able to do that, but they didn't want to do that for some reason. It's the extended editions that they're playing in theaters. It's not the theatrical cuts. But they decided to only one night. They decided to separate them out into different screenings, which is lame. It should have all been one. Should have all been one. Oh, damn it. I fucked that up. This one's not cleaned off all the way. Man, this one really absorbed that paint. Jesus Christ. It really absorbed this black-red paint. It really absorbed that. Something crazy. But I am excited to go see it. When I saw it, it was when it was a theatrical cut in movie theaters. When I was a child, my dad took me to it. I think the goblins scared me when I was a kid. Which is funny to think about now. You know? It's funny to think back on the things that scared you as a kid. It's 12 hours. Yeah, I mean, 12 hours with 12 hours you start in the morning with intermission bathroom breaks in between each film. Like, get some popcorn, get some drinks, intermissions. Like, I think that would be really cool. I think that would work pretty well for a Lord of the Rings event. I think a lot of people would be really down for that. I think a lot of people would be really down for that. I really should bring this over here instead of over there so I can make cleaning my water a lot easier. I don't have to reach my arm across. It kind of became a clear line, didn't it? I still haven't seen the movie. Same with Harry Potter. You ever seen Lord of the Rings, though? What the hell have you been doing with your life? What the hell have you been doing with your life, Stone? Jesus Christ. You should go see him. Very quickly, very quickly, very quickly. You dab, 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 and then go back. And then mix them up. I'm pretty good at web blending this. Yes, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. Yes, yes, yes. So many racial slurs. Yes. Stone, we had the same childhood, but how could you not fit Lord of the Rings into that? Harry Potter, I get. Harry Potter was lame. Harry Potter was and is very lame. But Lord of the Rings? Come on, you could have. It was literally only one time you had to go watch it. Didn't know about it. Didn't know about it. Lies and excuses. Excuses and lies. Slanderous lies. Harry Potter was mid. Harry Potter was very mid. I, again, do not know why Harry Potter became such a cultural phenomenon. I don't understand it. I go back and watch it, and I just like, I don't understand how this became so big. You know? Because the writer was a homeless mother that was racially biased and severely homophobic. I don't think she was very severely homophobic. She's big into the lesbians now. J.K. Rowling loves all the women now. Your silence is everything I need. Your silence says absolutely everything I need to hear. Ow. I'm Lord Pasta. I've been thinking of what horror games to play. Anyone have any suggestions? I was thinking of playing Dark Woods. Has anyone ever heard of Dark Woods? How many guys have heard of Dark Woods? I think that's one Warhammer book. Audible says we have a selection of history. They gave me Harry Potter in my library, mostly Star Wars, some Halo, and mystery books. The Michael Jackson horror game. No, thank you. No, thank you. But the Stone, I told you the next Warhammer book you need to read. I already told you. Go find Storm of Iron and read that. You don't want to run around Neverland Ranch? Not really. That sounds terrible. Actually, that sounds rather awful. Let me check. Oh yeah. Like these lightning claws are coming along pretty well. I need to fix that cloaking down in there, but when I need the wet blend, you can see it's getting a little too sectioned right here. Bringing it nice and close. There's not a good transition between these two colors here, so I need to put like I need to get like a little transition going in between there. But they're coming along. They're coming along. Time to call chaos. How dare you? No, read Dead Sky Black Sun. Teddy. He's got to read Storm of Iron first. He's got to read Storm of Iron first, or else he won't understand what's going on. He's got to read that one first. We just gotta learn about Hanzu, and then we'll work our way. Then we'll work our way to Dead Sky Black Sun. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. We'll work our way up to it. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Which actually, speaking of, Demonculabras have come up in recent discussions around Warhammer on the Twitter. Actually, I saw a Krieg book. Which one? Put a color there. Crazy most evil thing in Warhammer. People have been saying recently that it's bad writing. There, see, it breaks it up a little bit. Break it up a little bit there. People are saying that the Demonculabras are bad writing. And because of it was just called Krieg. I think it's one of the newer Warhammer books. I heard it's all right. I'm thinking of the right book. I heard it's all right. But people have been saying that Demonculabra is actually bad writing because it involves can I say it on Twitch? Fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. If I get demonetized for it, then we'll find out. It's because it's about rape. Even though Demonculabra doesn't actually involve rape at all, but people are interpreting it as that. So they're saying it's bad writing because any writing that involves rape is bad. It's about rape. Well, it wasn't really though. Because the artificial insemination of the women is literally just them getting cut open and then a baby gets shoved inside there. Oh, not even a baby, a small toddler gets shoved inside there. It's not really rape. It's I'm gonna open up your stomach and then put a small boy in there, and then stitch you back up. Which I mean, I'm trying to keep you from being demonetized, you buffoon. I've given up already. I've given up. If it happens, it happens. I fucking hate it. Like I've been watching Scary Interesting, right? And like in the last couple Scary Interesting videos, I love watching Scary Interesting. Scary Interesting makes fun stuff of horrifying things that happen in our world. But recently, right? There's been a thing where like he's censoring out words when he's like in it and like okay, it's a YouTube monetization thing, so maybe that's why, but like it's gotten to the point where like he's censoring out the words like murder, killed, decapitated, hit, face smashed. It's like talks about a horrific instance of a man who was a murderer who did horrific things, and like every other word that when it involves the crime that he did is censored out, where it just has a bleep in between there, and it's just like Jesus Christ. I'm sitting here just like is my audio fucking breaking? What the fuck is going on here? What's going on here? My audio breaking? Like, no, he's just censoring every other word, basically. Which, I mean, I wager money that's YouTube. Right? YouTube's being weird again about certain subjects, and they... It reminds me how people say I'm live on YouTube. My favorite version of that is when someone was talking about talking about unaliving themselves, say they Minecraft themselves, is still the funniest fucking thing to me. I say that one because that one's fucking funny. Like, you should Minecraft yourself. It kills me. I love it. I love it so much. That's probably the best version that's come out of this. Kill binded. You're being alt F forward. But yeah, it's one of those annoying things on YouTube and a lot of services these days. I don't know. Kick doesn't give a fuck. One of the things I do like about Kick, they don't give a fuck about anything. They don't fucking care. But one of the things I am appreciative about the Kick, even though I don't have anyone on Kick yet. But like you're being sent to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. Oh god, the fucking Shadow Realm. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. But like, it's nice to not. It's annoying to have to watch my words when it comes to very innocuous things. Like it's weird, like how touchy YouTube is on subjects. Like, some things kind of make sense. Like, you don't want people telling each other to go Minecraft themselves. But then other things just don't make any sense at all. Like, when you're talking about a historical event that involves a murder, but you can't say murder. You know? It's like, it's just, it's weird. It's so strange to me. And I still don't understand it. But hey, that's the world we live in, isn't it? But yeah, you're like being sent to the Shadow Realm. That was the 4Kids dub. Has anyone ever seen the difference between 4Kids Yu-Gi-Oh dub, the sub, the 4Kids dub, and the manga? Because all three of these are completely different from each other. I had a mind-blowing thing happen recently where someone pointed out something about the anime of Yu-Gi-Oh that I never noticed. Did anyone notice that in many duels, they only ever placed in Battle City, they only ever placed 5 cards on the field? And that they wouldn't play any other cards until they had less than 5 cards on the field, and then they would play a card? Did anyone notice that? Like, even when like situations don't make any sense for them not to play another card, they don't play a card because they have 5 cards on the field. And I learned recently that's because in the manga, you know how anyone who's a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The dual disc had 5 slots on the top of it, and it had 5 slots on the back of it. So it had 5 spots for monsters and 5 spots for spell and trap cards, and a separate spot for field spells. Apparently, in the manga, though, which all the duels are based on or heavily follow, the dual disc did not have extra spots for spell and trap card zones. So the dual disc actually used all 5 monster zones. And the spell and trap cards and the monster zones all shared the same space. So you only had 5 spaces to play monster cards, spell cards, and trap cards. And if once you filled up your field, you couldn't do anymore. And it's just like, it blew my fucking mind because I never knew that. And everything makes so much more sense now as to why some of these duels in the anime were so fucking weird. Like, take Merrick versus Yugi, for instance, where Merrick has the Egyptian God card on the field, he has this unbeatable combo of Revival Jam, Jam Defender, and infinite cards of the card of safe returns, and the infinite card, and the card that gives him infinite cards in his hands. That's a huge detail to skip over. It's a massive detail, and it bugged me. Like in the anime, Merrick could have won that duel against Yugi if he played any of his other monsters that he had in his hand. We know he had other monsters in his hand. He had Humanoid Slime, he had Drill Worm Slime, he had a Drill Worm to make that fusion monster. He could have just summoned the Drill Worm, the worm thing, and attack with Slifer, attack with the worm, and he would win the duel. But for some reason he never did. And it makes sense now that why he never did, because he couldn't. His perfect combo took up all 5 slots. So unless he lost Slifer, Revival, or lost either Slifer, Revival Jam, Card Save Return, Infinite Card, or Jam Defender, he couldn't do anything else. He was stuck in his one thing until Yugi broke it. And it's just like, holy shit. That makes so much more sense now. And like, why didn't Weevil summon more monsters when he had Insect Queen on the field? Oh, that's because he only had 5 slots. Because he had Insect Queen, he had his Multiply, he had the Insect Queen taking up spots for the insect tokens, and he had Insect Barrier, and another card, I can't remember what it was. And when one of those cards got destroyed, like when one of those cards got destroyed, he then summoned another monster. We're talking about a difference between the manga and the anime that makes sense as to why duels in Battle City were so fucking weird. Because in the manga, spell and trap cards and monster zones all shared the same spots. So the monster zones, spell cards, and trap cards were all played in the same zones. I was not a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I love the anime. The anime is my favorite. I want to read the manga, though. Because apparently the manga is incredibly different. And I already know that from what I've read of the manga. I've read all the way up through Duelist Kingdom. The fact it was still called Yu-Gi-Oh! After Season 1 was upsetting. Well, you mean Season 0? You mean Season 1 or Season 0? Which season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are we talking about here? Let me see. What I need to reevaluate what I'm doing on here. Alright, I see what I'm doing here. I'm seeing what I'm doing here. The season of Pegasus. Okay, so that's Season 1. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! The title made much more sense in Season 0. It made more sense in Season 0 than it did in Duelist Kingdom. Because if you didn't know this, right? I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! a lot. I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! a lot. Let's not forget. Yu-Gi-Oh's grandfather was a massive pervert. That's just Japanese people in general. But yes, in the original season of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're talking about the original manga here. It didn't start with the card game. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, along with the manga, started with random games. It was the reason why it was called Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the King of Games. Because it was about Yugi playing a bunch of different games. The shadow games weren't just contained to the trading card game. A shadow game could happen for any kind of game. Yugi assembled the puzzle, and then when he assembled the puzzle, he would be possessed by a spirit who we know of now is Yami Yugi, who would then go around punishing people, bad people, with shadow games. And the original manga was way more fucked up. Way more fucked up than the anime. But there's like tons of differences. There's tons of differences between the manga and the anime. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Which is why I'm very heavily invested in the idea of reanimating the entire Yu-Gi-Oh series and following the manga very closely, because that stuff's, it's really interesting. I have seen season 0. Even season 0 is very different from the manga. And even season 0 is significantly different from the manga. There are some things that are the same in the broad strokes, like the first Bakura Yugi fight. The final fight between Kaiba and Yugi is the same. The Death Tea Tower is entirely different. Where Kaiba, oh my god, where to start? Where to begin? Where to begin with this? So yeah, Yugi would go around being possessed by a spirit and he'd start punishing people. And these punishments would take kind of fucked up things. They would mentally scar people. For one dude he set on fire. One dude he blew up. Another person he threw from a building. Another person he mind raped him into believing that his face was like, his arm and face were nothing but clocks. He got a guy stung by a scorpion. He got a guy stung by scorpions. There was... God, I love that part's so fucking dumb. Anyway. Like, Yugi did a lot of fucked up things. Under being possessed by Yami Yugi. And it was a time and a half. It was a time and a half. But getting on to Duelist Kingdom. Duelist Kingdom makes more sense when you realize that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That we're seeing them play is not the first version that shows up in the manga. Which this actually partially inspires this is what inspires my this was inspires my foray into trying to make my own little version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hold on, this is not really working. Trying to wet blend these together, and it's not really working. Trying to wet blend these together is not really working. I'm guilty of mainly watching the abridged. Insane. Insane, Stone. I'm learning so much about you today. I'm learning so much about you today, Stone. Things I didn't want to know. And here we are. Like, where do we begin? So, like, the original game of Yu-Gi-Oh! The original game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was played on a mat. It was played on like a table mat and played more like a miniature war game with trading cards instead of the trading card game we know now. And this mat had a bunch of different biomes and stuff on it that was really cool. Which then would cause, like, monster effects. The monsters have different effects and things like that, depending on the biomes that they were in. Which was really cool. sadly, this never translated into the manga. It never translated into the anime. But it's also why Duelist Kingdom makes no fucking sense from an outsider looking in. From an outsider looking in, when you start the anime, they just drop you. They drop you basically at the end of like 40 chapters of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had been going on for a while. And they drop Kaiba kidnapping Yugi's grandpa to get the Blue Eyes White Dragon. That was like the culmination of a bunch of different stuff happening. Like, that was like 20 to 30 chapters of stuff happening. And then Kaiba kidnaps his grandpa, which then leads to a final confrontation between them. Oh, well, not really the final, but it leads to a big confrontation between them. And Yugi... which then caused them to go up like a big tower and everything like that, called the... a big tower, it was called like the Death Tea Tower, where Kaiba tried to kill Yugi on TV, which was kind of just like, Kaiba, you sure you want to be broadcasting your crimes like this? But he never got arrested for it, so fuck me, I guess. But yeah, like it was a big event, and the anime just kind of starts right at the end of that. It starts right at the end. It basically goes, their first interaction in the manga, and then skips everything, and goes to their last interaction where Kaiba kidnaps his grandpa and challenges him to a duel. Which I think hurts it. Screw the rules, I have money. Exactly. Which I think hurts. I think it hurts the anime quite a lot. That so much context and so much character development was cut out. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense in a way. They wanted to focus on the manga. They wanted to focus on the anime, to focus on the card game. The card game was just becoming a thing. It was blowing up. It was getting big. And so they wanted to have their, Konami wanted the anime to focus on the manga. I'm having a stroke, apparently. They wanted the anime to focus on the card game and just get, and not anything that came before. And they tried to incorporate a lot of it into the start of Duelist Kingdom. Like, Bakura randomly showing up and putting them in, like, putting their souls inside their cards. That was just a redo of animes that meant to sell merch and manga and merch. Well, this one was meant to sell a card game. This one was meant to sell a card game. And like Bakura's appearance. Did anyone think Bakura's appearance in the anime was fucking bizarre? Like, he just kind of shows up. Like, he just kind of shows up and then goes, like, "Hi guys, I'm your friend from school. Don't you remember me?" And then I'm supposed to sit here and go, "Who the fuck are you?" And then like everyone just goes, "Oh, I know you, Bakura. Yes, our friend." But that's because the manga, the anime is cramming in Bakura's appearance in the manga, which was after the fight with Kaiba. They go back to school. There's an exchange student. The exchange student is Bakura. Bakura is possessed by the spirit of the Millennium Ring, which is the appearance of a being that's pretty much like Yami Yugi. We haven't really seen one, but we haven't really seen anyone like him before. And then suddenly, here is someone who has the exact same setup going on for Yami Yugi. He has the Millennium Ring. She's being possessed by a spirit, but this spirit is far more malevolent than Yami Yugi. It's far more just flat out evil. He apparently, and so he tricks him, the ring, the Spirit of the Millennium Ring, tricks Yugi and his friends into playing an RPG game with them. They basically have dungeons. They have a whole arc where they're trapped in Dungeons and Dragons with the evil spirit of Bakura that's possessing Bakura running as the dungeon master. And that was what that whole event was basically about. Basically, it was Yami Yugi possessing the body of Yugi versus Bakura, with Yugi and his friends trapped in an RPG. And it was a fucking sick arc, by the way. I love that part in the anime, in the manga. It's so fun. It's so much fun. It's also the first appearance of Zork, which becomes like the main antagonist thing at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which Zork is a stupid name, by the way. It works in an RPG game where your DM's just making like, oh, what's the big bad evil guy's name? Zork. That'll do. His name is Tom. But it doesn't really work as the name of your end antagonist, I'm gonna say. There were so many weird enemies. I love them all so much. But yeah, like that, it was weird that Bakura, the way they handled Bakura's arc, but the reason why they handled Bakura's arc that way is that they're mashing in the RPG world arc and cramming it into one episode in Duelist Kingdom, which is why it's so insane. He looks like a Zack, but he's a Cork. Zork. Yes. That's some Tolkien level writing right there. That's a dork. He's a Zork. That's some Tolkien level writing right there. Sister, I'm at a loss to how to name this spider. She's a she. And what's an old word for spider? Lobe. Yes, that'll do. She-lobe. Now I need to fix that little stains in between the claws. The one thing I don't like about this model, I do love this model, but the one thing I don't like about it are these fucking claws right here that are meshed into the cloak. It's such a pain in the ass. It's such a pain in the ass to fix that. So I need some more black. I need some more Berserker red and black. But yeah, it's Duelist Kingdom in the anime is so fucky because they're literally trying to take things from the manga that were established in the manga over like chapters and condense them down into like single episodes. Like take that spirit, for instance. The spirit of that was pretending to be Kaiba. You guys remember that guy? What's that matte black? Hold on. Yeah, you guys remember that fucking spirit that was pretending to be Kaiba? Which didn't make a lot of sense, but then it made more sense in the manga, where the manga was the guy was pretending to be a spirit, but like in the manga, it was like a medium of some kind. Like there was a guy there, but he had a puppet sitting on his lap that looked like Kaiba, and it would talk like Kaiba, and it would pretend to be Kaiba. And it was like, I'm channeling his spirit from the other side after you killed him, Yugi. Because in the manga, Kaiba was in a coma at this point. No one knew whether he was alive or dead, because Kaiba was because he was unconscious. Yugi had gave him the mind break, and at the end of their duel in the at the top of Death Key Tower, and so he was still unconscious from that. And so, and after that, Yugi went straight into Duelist Kingdom. So he had no idea what happened to Kaiba after that. And And so he's basically being told right here at this point that Kaiba's dead. He died because of you, Yugi, and da-da-da. It was a lot more fucked up than in the anime, where it's kind of, they won't really say any, like, we know Kaiba's not dead, because Kaiba is currently going on his espionage arc in the anime, where he hacks into the industrial illusion things with that weird AI robot, and does the 90s hacking, where he's just pressing keys on the keyboard, and it's just doing like a hacking. I'm hacking the mainframe, downloading the Wi-Fi. and you're certain he ain't pressing any actual fucking words on that keyboard. Like, so we know Kaiba's alive at that point. But in the manga, it was a lot more up in the air, and it was a little fucked up. It was a little fucked up the way they played it. Now, let me see, I need to focus on this, hold on. No, I fucked it up. Shite. Well, we're gonna have to do that again. Damn it. Damn it, fuck that up. I should have left it alone. Should have left it alone. I'll have to redo all of that. Pain Dio. Anyway, while I wait for that to dry so I can redo my life's work. But yeah, like, it was a lot more obtuse in the anime. Though it also, you could also argue that it survived, that Yugi winning that duel was more bullshit than it was more bullshit in the manga than it was in the anime. Because if you remember that episode, Kaiba was hacking the mainframe I'm just doing these things with my fingers. Kaiba was hacking the mainframe in the anime, which is then what caused the Blue Eyes White Dragon to have its attack points reduced, right? That's what caused it. That's what caused the Blue Eyes White Dragon to lose like 2,000 attack points, while Yugi was dealing with that, and he basically, though that was a bit of bullshit happening there, if I'm remembering properly, because Kaiba called out Yugi, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon disintegrated. But you could at least say something happened there with the mainframe that caused the whole thing to glitch out of existence. In the anime, the Blue Eyes White Dragon just refuses to attack. One of the Blue Eyes White Dragons just refuses to attack Yugi because of the heart of the cards. And that the guy pretending to have the soul of Kaiba is just pretending and doesn't actually control the Blue Eyes White Dragons. Only Kaiba can do that. And so one of them just auto-deletes itself out of existence, which I would be fucking calling a judge. I would be calling a fucking judge if my card just disintegrated before my eyes. The judge, my card just decided to delete itself. I would like a replay of that attack. But instead, Yugi just wins. Hacks, yeah. Judge, my opponent is clearly fucking cheating. But yeah, no, he gets away with that because he's the protagonist. But yeah, it's a bit more bullshit in the manga, because at the end of the duel, Kaiba wakes up and Yugi uses the Mystic Elf. He uses the Mystic Elf to boost the attack points of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yugi's power is literally just straight cheating. It is literally straight cheating. Especially when you get like later in the series, and Yugi's just pulling any card he needs to win. And like, it's his power of the Pharaoh And like he can just draw whatever card he needs. Like that's just, you mean he's stacking his fucking deck and he's cheating like a motherfucker. That's what you fucking mean. There, now I can paint all this over. Let me focus on this so I can paint over the stupid parts. But yeah, it's like Yugi is just a straight cheater. He is. I hate that so much. Oh well. Man also had the God card. The God cards are kind of ass in Yugi's deck. Hey, Black. Like I'm gonna point out, Yugi was probably the worst wielder of every God card. He was probably the worst person to have them. It's been a while. What you been up to? Oh, nothing much. I took a week off last week. I played some Baldur's Gate this week. Been dealing with work stuff, and now we're painting minis. And I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! We're talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and manga. But Yugi is probably the worst wielder of all the God cards. Like, yeah, he got to summon them all at once in the anime. Though apparently in the manga, he only ever summoned Obelisk and Slifer. He didn't summon Ra. He never summoned Ra. A week off to yourself, nice. Yeah, it is. But like, his deck never had any strategies to utilize the God cards. You take off work or just streaming? I just took off streaming. I was already off work 2 weeks before the last week I took off streaming. So I already had a vacation from work. But yeah, you like, for instance, take the duel with between Yugi and Merrick, when Merrick had Slifer. Merrick constructed his entire deck around optimizing Slifer the Sky Dragon. Bean Boozled, how dare you? That's all the way up over there. Yeah. Good story, but Bean. How dare you? But yeah, like Merrick made his whole deck around utilizing Slifer's abilities. Black Bean. Rubber. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, this is a little bean. It tastes like rubber. But then, and like, take American Raw. American Raw, this entire deck was built around the strategy of using Ra's one-shot combo, using an OTK. Kaiba's Obelisk filled in. Oh, yep. Yes, continue watching, please. Kaiba's Obelisk, the Tormentor, just slid right on in with all of his usual combos. So he didn't really have to change his deck at all to utilize Obelisk to its full potential. Yugi did fucking none of this. When Yugi threw out Slifer the Sky Dragon, he just whipped that shit out there. And it usually didn't do anything. Like the one time, like he summoned it against Kaiba, against his Obelisk, and the best he could manage to do was make it crash in the Obelisk, so they killed each other. And then against Merrick, it didn't really do Merrick already had a strategy to deal with it. So it got removed without doing anything. Like, Yugi is probably the worst wielder of all the God cards. Like, he's bad. He's bad at them. He's good at his own deck and his own strategy, but he won't make any allowances. He won't, like, tailor his strategies to incorporate the God cards at all. Which, you know, kind of sucks. Because the God cards are really cool. Now, now that's dry, let's... How did that happen? Curse this thing. Curse this thing. Focus. Focus. Yeah, wet blending on this thing is hard. Wet blending between these claws is so hard. But yeah, yeah, Yugi kind of sucked at using the God cards. And I'm gonna be honest, he sucked at using Exodia too. But Exodia is one of those cards that just like... Exodia is just one of those cards, you know? That's just impossible to build around. It's just a deck of draw until you win. There's really nothing you can do about Exodia. Not unless you want to sacrifice literally any other cards in your deck for just draw cards and stall cards, like that one rare hunter. What was I saying? I was saying something about difference between... Oh, Duelist Kingdom, right. I like how the dual arena that they play in Duelist Kingdom is completely different in the manga. Between the anime and manga, they're completely different from each other. Like, in the manga, it's like a box that they play in. Instead of like a whole arena, it's like a box with a table in the middle that has emitters on all four corners of this little box room they sit in. And these box rooms would just be scattered around the forest, or they're scattered around the island in different locations. And it would be like, and they would just, and each one of them would like represent the different biomes, like it does in the Duelist Kingdom, like it does in the anime. But the anime had the giant duel arenas that everyone's familiar with. Which, the duel arenas were pretty cool. Impractical, but really cool. We're getting there. We're getting really close with this being done with this guy. I really just need to get these lightning claws wrapped up. And then I need to touch up some details on his cloak. With this Troll Slayer orange. And we'll be there. We'll be super there. We'll be super there. So close. So close. Oh. Oh, I sneezed. Oh, I sneezed. Sneezy, sneezy, sneeze. But, what was I saying? Thank you, Stout. Dogs, get out of here. Get. They're pushing up on the table, wanting my attention. You guys need to go outside? I think they need to go outside. Hold on. Be right back. Be right back. You go outside? seems like it wants to snow out. It says it's gonna snow outside. It's gonna slurry outside a bit. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll find out. What was I saying about the manga? Yeah, there's tons of differences. Still a lot of similarities though. The duels are the same. How the duels play out are basically the same between the anime and manga. It's just some of the stuff around it that's different. Like for instance, Duke Devlin. Like Duke Devlin, for instance, he has a completely different thing going on in the anime, in the manga than he does in the anime. In the anime, he has one episode against Yugi, where they play Dungeon Dice Monster, right? And that's like a whole thing, right? That's a whole episode or two in and of itself. I think it was actually like 2 episodes of Dungeon Dice Monsters. Which, by the way, Dungeon Dice Monsters, criminally underrated game. That game was a lot of fun. If any of you got that set after you saw the episode that was like in Target, and you could get you had like the Dungeon Dice Monsters starter set, that game was so much fucking fun. I'm sad it didn't catch on because that game was fun. I had a lot of fun with it as a kid. I have no idea how it holds up as an adult, but I quite adored that game as a kid. But that arc is very different in the anime, but in the manga, because it's actually like a whole several episode arc in the manga, and it's also a time where the evil spirit inside the Millennium Ring, Bakura, and Yugi team up against Duke Devlin, which I had not read this part myself, right? This is me hearing about it secondhand. But that sounds so fucking wild to me, that these two would team up together. And it makes sense in the story, right? Because Duke Devlin tricked Yugi and got his Millennium Puzzle from him. So he doesn't have Yami Yugi with him to win the game for him. As opposed to what happens in the manga, it's not Yami Yugi who beats Duke Devlin, it's Bakura and Yugi working together that beats Duke Devlin. Which works with Bakura's character, because Bakura is trying to trick Yugi at this point. At this point in the story, Bakura has basically decided that the spirit of inside Bakura has decided that he can't beat Yugi in a straight up fight. In a straight up and up fight, he will lose. So he decided to be more tricksy about it. He decided to be a bit more subtle. Wait, I already seen this one. Why is this playing again? Why is this happening? Stop this. Why are you playing that song again? Stop it. Cease and desist. So he decided he can't beat Yugi in a straight up fight. So he decides that he's going to trick Yugi. He's going to befriend him. He's going to pretend to be his friend. Because Yugi at this point has the big streak of being trusting towards people who seem to want to change, right? He has that anime protagonist problem of being too trusting. And he doesn't know that Bakura killed Pegasus at this point. Which, by the way, another difference between the anime and the manga. Pegasus isn't wounded in the manga. He's killed. Bakura murders him. They find him sitting on a table with duel cards in front of him, and his Millennium Eye has been ripped out of his head. with blood splattered all over the table. Like, holy shit. Like, Jesus, that was grim. But yeah, like, Yugi doesn't know that Bakura was the one who did it. So Bakura is trying to get close to Yugi. And the point of why he does this is because he wants to infect the Millennium Puzzle with a portion of his darkness, as he calls it. Basically, he's hiding a little sleeper agent inside the Millennium Puzzle for something that won't come up until the complete end of the... it won't come up until the last arc of the series, when Bakura actually makes his move. Which, I like this quite a lot, actually. Sorry, I'm focusing on this. I keep pulling it back without showing you guys. But I like it because it makes Bakura seem more... I'm gonna move this camera back a little bit. I'm gonna move this camera towards me a little bit, so I don't keep pulling it back where you guys can't see it. But I like this attitude for Bakura, because it makes him seem more proactive in the plot. Like, he's an active schemer in the background, pushing things along, as opposed to the anime where he just goes around and starts being menacing, but he doesn't actually do anything. Oh, let me pull back. Come on. There we go. There we go. Here we go. You can see my pants a little bit, but that's fine. Come on. Tighten back down, you little bastard. Piper. Stop fucking rubbing my arm. I'm trying to tighten something. Alright, there we go. Yeah, this is... You can see my pants a bit, but... Oh well. Oh well, I keep bringing the model back to here to look at it, and I have to... You guys just have to see my my pants, my sweatpants a bit. But yeah, like, as opposed to in the anime, right, where Bakura just menaces a lot and really just kind of lucks into positions of being able to do things. For instance, he also infects the Millennium Puzzle in the anime as well. But it's just by sheer coincidence that he happens to be in the right position to do it, because Merrick has possessed Bandit Keith to duel Yugi, and then he breaks the Millennium Puzzle because when Bandit Keith tries to run off with the... When a mind-controlled Bandit Keith tries to run off with the Millennium Puzzle, he ends up destroying it, and Yugi has to put it back together in a weird fire. And that's when Bakura shows up and gives him a piece of the Millennium Puzzle that he couldn't find to finish assembling it. But it was Bakura in his normal form. It was Bakura in his, like, the person being possessed form. Which means he was being completely normal by his book. Which it just isn't as strong as the evil spirit of Bakura pretends to be Yugi's friend to take advantage of it, to take advantage of him. It just doesn't hit as hard, you know? There we go. It just don't hit as hard. And I wish that the anime had kept that. I wish it had kept the original Duke Devlin arc. instead of whatever the fuck they were doing with Bandit Keith. You know? Because the Bandit Keith Merrick thing was pointless. It didn't lead anywhere, and it didn't add anything new that we didn't already basically know. And like it actually undercuts Merrick a bit. Because it goes, oh, Merrick can mind control people. And then later we learn that Merrick can mind control people. And you do it twice, and it's just like, yeah, we know that. We remember Bandit Keith. Is it like, which I think that was supposed, like, because they followed the manga at that point, and that was supposed to be Battle City follows the manga more closely than the Duelist Kingdom parts, because they didn't have to add anything; they could just take straight from the manga, and because of that, it causes a little bit of issue. It causes some friction because the stuff that they added wasn't gelling with the stuff that they the stuff that they added wasn't gelling with the stuff that they with the manga, which is just unfortunate when that happens. I'm just going to accept that. We're just not going to look at that too deeply. You know what? Fuck it. We're not going to look at that too deeply. It's just so hard to get it. It's just so hard to get a good glaze in here. In between these blades here. With the way they're molded to the cloak. It's just so hard to get down in there. Maybe I can do some thin down. Maybe if I do like a thin down wash, I could get away with it. A thin down wash of blue into here, into between there, just to darken it down a bit. Let me try that. I'll get some Drakenhof Nightshade, and we'll give it a shot. Make sure that the music's still playing. There we go. Well, you did it to me, Crooked. What'd I do? You spent $100 on four brushes. Jesus. What was wrong with the brushes you had? What was wrong with the brushes you had, man? Clean your socks, you animal. They are clean. They're fresh from the dryer. Fresh from the dryer this morning. Random floor hairs. That's what happens when you have 2 dogs and 2 cats in your house. You get random hair everywhere. You really just kind of have to live with it. Not 4 brushes, 4 complete sets. Oh, yeah. And a Roomba. I don't have a Roomba. I don't have a Roomba. I vacuum my own house, please. Thank you. I've been debating on getting a Roomba, though. I feel like I need one. You know? Get some wash on here in the palette. And the in-between is daily. Yeah, see, my vacuuming is not daily. There's my problem. My vacuuming's not daily. Bean boozle. How dare you bean boozle me? Bean. It's this one. There's marshmallow. I got like that many left. I got that many left. I need to buy new ones. I need to buy more. You do some straight dragon off Nightshade. You're about Bling Bang Bong, huh? Yeah, it's not bad, is it? There, that should help a bit. Still better than Fonk. It's not bad. But it's also DMCA free. Hey, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I was talking about Bakura and how sinister he is. Someone I cleaned off my brush. Yeah, the Bakura just flat out kills people in the manga. None of this fucking, I'm sending you to the Shadow Realm, Yugi. None of that bullshit, he just fucking kills you. Bakura was a monster in the manga. Yeah, he was. But I like that. I liked how much he got to do in the manga. Didn't you have like a new assistant in every book? He didn't have an assistant in the he didn't really have an assistant in the anime. Like, unless you want to call like when he was working with Merrick being his quote assistant. But he didn't really have an assistant. He didn't have an assistant in Duelist Kingdom. The bald motherfucker that followed him around. You're thinking of Merrick. You're thinking of Merrick Ishtar, who had Odeon, the bald motherfucker, following him around. You see me shaking my legs there? But Merrick, Bakura was the white-haired one, the one who got the British accent in the dub. And he got to do whatever, and he was working in the shadow going, "Wah ha ha ha, aren't I so evil?" But he actually got to do things in the manga. Open the Troll Slayer Orange. We need this. Need this. Need to put the someone else on here. Need a glaze of this. I was thinking the one's alter ego, the tan one with the black hair, not the albino one. The tan one with the black hair. Merrick didn't have black hair. He had an alter ego, but he didn't have a black hair. What are you talking about? I'm very curious who you're talking about now. But Merrick didn't have black hair. Merrick had, like, pale hair. Pale whitish hair. Why is it so sticky? Why is the orange so sticky? Why is it so sticky? Jesus Christ. So thick. Thin down, motherfucker. Thin down. Like clawing at me. Oh yeah, I don't know what the fuck I have no idea what the fuck you're remembering either. That's what I want to know. Like, man, I want to know that too. Because it sounds like a different character entirely. It sounds like you're confusing him with Fudo from 5Ds, because he's the only one with black hair I can think of who's the main character. But surely you wouldn't be talking about Fudo. That wouldn't make any sense. I watched the show from time to time, and clearly you're watching something. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a fun time. It was a fun time of a show. That's for sure. But everything comes to an end, doesn't it? And then GX happened, and GX is a fucking fever dream. And GX is just a fucking fever dream that we're probably better off not talking about. Like, my god, GX. That show is only funny because of its dub. That show is only funny because of its dub, and its dub was basically a fucking... It was basically Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but an actual anime. It's insane. Is it going? Yeah, let's go here. There we go. We don't talk about GX. I had friends who loved GX. I had friends who absolutely adored that show for some reason. I don't know why. I tried watching it and I don't get it. You know? Like, I don't get why people like that show. But like, I like, that's not true. I can get it from like the dub angle, right? Because the dub angle was basically a fucking, was basically an abridged. It was basically an abridged that could be on the level of Ghost Stories sometimes with the absurdity of it. Like, I get that. But the rest of it, I don't understand. Like the like in watching out of context GX lines is so fucking funny. If you ever watched any of those, they're so fucking funny. They're so hilarious. It's like the Chaz's lines are so funny. The like, wait, wasn't that a rumor? No, you hating puberty, that was a rumor. just out of fucking nowhere. It's like, we should pull up some of those. Let me pull up some of those. Those are really funny. Curse you. Curse you. Well, you're about to hear some more of it. Let's see. You go GX out of context. Yeah, here, the dub out of context. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. Yeah, I crashed in the beginning.
Ready, geek? Time to get chazed. Hold that thought. Before you chaz me, watch this. I reveal 2 of my face downs. But how? Easy. I just call out their names dramatically and they pop up. Haven't you played this game before? Because it's
That's like easy. I call their names out dramatically and they pop up. It's so
easy.
What the fuck?
Call out their names dramatically and they pop up. Haven't you played this game before? Because it's a pretty common occurrence.
No, not at all! Jaden and Cyrus broke a big-time rule, so they can face big-time opponents. Besides, we can't send the brothers back now. They've come so far.
What's that matter? You're paying their travel costs.
Oh.
Jaden, I'll leave it up to you, son.
These guys couldn't even beat male pattern baldness, so there's no way they're gonna be able to beat us.
What the fuck? It's like it sounds like a fucking dub. It sounds like an abridged, doesn't it? It really sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, doesn't it? It was absolutely deranged. Yeah, it was. What is the other anime I was given no script? Oh, you're talking about Ghost Stories. You're talking about the Ghost Stories dub. Yeah, we just talked about that. Like, these men couldn't even beat male pattern baldness. They can't beat us.
Too late for that now. Maybe next time you'll try picking on someone your own size. But you are my size.
Yeah, unless
Nice logic keyboard.
out your master, just like
Yeah, it's called streaming. It's called my stream computer doesn't need a fancy keyboard.
you did. Nice move, huh?
Yeah. You know, I think Cy slept through that class.
And look who's talking.
Actually, I don't think I'd call it sleeping in class. It's more like scheduled study eye breaks.
Come on, easy now.
Let me guess, bad vibes?
That's why I covered her eyes, mate. I'm trying to minimize all the external stimuli.
This is no time to start speaking Australian, Jim.
Yeah. Let's move on then. No time to be
Strength.
It's fucking. That's why we're gonna go with that. But that's it. Those are the fucking. That's fucking that's the only shit people remember from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. That shit's the only shit people remember is just the out of context fucking crazy lines that they come up with in that fucking dub. I have no idea who the fuck came up with it, but that person deserved a pay raise. Yeah, that person deserved every amount of money he got, because that was fucking funny. The actual story of what's happening is dog shit, right? And of the actual, like, anime. But, like, the dub lines were really funny. You take 200 points of damage. Get burned, nerd. Pretty much. Oh yeah, it's pretty much what happened in the dubs.
Look, Pip, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Like, they lose a duel and they suffer emotional damage. That's just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just suffering emotional damage. And get some of this off. Yeah, binder cards all the way back to alpha. Nice. Just old. Alright, now I just need to do a little bit of this. A little bit of that. Right there. I 4 to 5 mock card, power 9. Ooh, nice. I'm sure those are valuable if I do anything about them. But I think we're done with this guy. I'll give you a little turnaround on him once I get rid of Piper for here. Piper, do you go outside? Piper wants to go outside. Oh, I'll be right back. I've actually fucked up Black Lotus Beta. It's not worth anything, but maybe like 45 bucks. Damn. What if you had that mint? I'm sure the Black Lotus is pretty expensive if you haven't mint. Anyway, here's this guy. I'm gonna hit this with like a bit more Blood Angel contrast, actually. How dare you compliment me? He's trash. I'll throw him in the blender tomorrow. It's trash. Disgusting. Okay, enough of this, whatever the fuck this is. Enough of that. There we go. I pull out my Chaos Forge Fiends. I have 3 of them. I have some Forge Fiends as well. I haven't painted at all. I have Forge Fiends as well. I haven't painted at all. I think there's a bit more I can do on this model. Actually, there's one more thing I'm going to do. You have unpainted models? I like every Warhammer player, I have fuckloads of unpainted models. Also, where is the Demon Prince? Over on the shelf. With the other, like, 4 of them. The one we started like 2 years ago and still haven't finished. Oh, he's over on the shelf with the other 4 of them. Well, it's not my fault that Games Workshop decided that they wanted to nerf Demon Princes into the ground. There we go. There we go. Let me bring it up here. Give those a bit of a shine. There we go. I think it came out pretty good overall. Yes, the golden codpiece. As you need. But yes, we do need to get back on the painting train, don't we? It didn't help that Games Workshop's burned me out with 10th edition. Which made me not want to touch it, which made me not want to deal with any of my Warhammer models that I had, you know? Which made it really aggravating to want to go back and paint the other models, because it's like, what am I painting them for? I'm not playing Warhammer physically anymore. All I'm doing is playing it on the tabletop simulator. But I'm just gonna paint. I don't know what I'm gonna paint, but I'm just gonna paint stuff for me. I'm gonna paint my own stuff. Of stuff I just want to paint. Like next, I think once I finish these couple of models here. I've lost a lot of players. Not only the game, like, if Games Workshop wasn't being such a bastard, then they wouldn't have lost me. That's the thing, right? Like, I'm not going like I prefer to play on Tabletop Simulator. Go let the pups out. Go let the pups out. Go do that. It's not like it's like, oh, I just really want to play on Tabletop Simulator. You'll probably be gone before I get back. I might. We are at the 3-hour mark. No, I think we are gonna end it there because I got this guy. We got this guy done. And I don't really want to start this guy. I've already tried doing the edge highlighting on him, and it offends my soul. It's one of those things. I can continue this. You know, I'm gonna continue this. I'm gonna get the edge highlighting done on that at the very least. That's what I think I want to do. Yes. At the very least, I want to get that part done. So next time we can just touch up with the blue horror. And the blue, to get the touch up parts on the blue horror. And then hit him with the Lebanon turquoise. Not Lebanon turquoise. Pterodon turquoise. And darken them up a bit. Come on. It's already dried up again. It's already dried up again. Really should keep a, really should keep something nearby to clean this thing out anytime it dries up. Hold on, I got a bobby pin over here somewhere. Not a bobby pin, but a paper clip. I got a paper clip. So I can just take this and give it a poke. Just poke it right through the top of that so it stops being all gunked up and we can just squirt some out. There. That's what I need. And you see, you hit some of that. Hit it with some of that. And then we just need Need to figure out how kick streams work. I feel like it doesn't say how long I'm actually live for, or it's turning off and turning back on every couple of seconds. I don't know. Could not tell you. It's very confusing. It doesn't feel fine enough. Here we go. Paintbrush felt too splotchy. This one feels too fine because I feel like this paint is drying out really quick. And come over here. Probably the roughest edge highlighting I've ever done. But, oh well. Get this edge highlighting here. Get his knuckles. Man, it feels like it's dried out again. Maybe my wet palette's just not wet enough? It feels pretty damp. Weird how fast this is drying out. And get fan brace there, run across his knuckles here. And here. Not sure what I'm going to do about the sword. But we'll figure that part out when we get to it. What I'm going to do now is I'm definitely going to get the eyes now. Before I forget about them. Now is the time to get the eyes. While everything's still going to be washed down with Tarragon Turquoise. Boop. If headphones are dying. Stream might end when the headphones die. Get this thinned out some more. God, so chunky. Why does white get so chunky? White always gets so chunky. Not sure why. Just as paint. Alright, now the ultra thin brush. Now the hard part. Sword arms in the way. At least I can paint over the edges with the wolf gray. I can paint over anything with the wolf gray here. That I don't want to be white. Or I'll probably just get darkened down with the Tarragon Turquoise. I feel like my camera's straight on. Doesn't feel like my camera's straight on like it should be. Maybe it's the angle I'm sitting at. Who knows? All I know is I've been flubbing getting on center here. Now I'll take this tiny brush. To fill out some of this detail here. Ow. Okay, I think that'll work. That'll get the whites of his eyes. So that next time, when we need to put when we're putting something in there, it'll wash in a lot easier. This really is a trust the process sort of model going on here. This is definitely a trust the process sort of model going on here right now. Because I am certainly not feeling it right now. I'm certainly not feeling a lot of this, but well, we're gonna trust the process. Trust the process. Anything else we want to touch up? Here. Down to his foot. And do that, and do that. There's actually a cut. You can see here. Look close. There's a cut. You can see from my fingernail pointing there. There's a cut in the leg right there. I think it's just a mold line seam. Which would be weird on a metal model. Go hit that there. The other side's covered up. It had to normally be a bolt gun covered here. Which now I'm pushing it too far away. Life will just never get easy, will it? There's also a bolt gun on his leg there. Bolt pistol. But the holster didn't... whoever I bought this model from didn't come with a bolt pistol holster. So I put the bolt pistol in his offhand here. But I had to shave off the little nub that was there. Which had the, which is where the, bolt pistol holster was supposed to go. But sadly, I could not put the bolt pistol holster there. Alright, let's touch up. Let's do the blue horror. This is the one we just need to touch up some spots on with the blue horror. And once we touch up those spots, then it's just a Pterodon turquoise. The sword's gonna be painted by hand. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with the sword. I'm leaving the sword alone pretty much, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Now we're just gonna touch up parts with the blue horror. And then we're just gonna have to be careful on. Like that. Give him a splotch across this. Give him 5 across the eyes like that. That'll work. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. Just trust the process, Crooked. Just trust the process. Just trust the process. Just don't look back. Just keep going. Yes, you stop cringing at every 5 seconds. Ugh. Get this top elbow here. Get that there. Get this here. And then do a little bit right here. Right here and right here. I need a bit more blue horror. Right there. Right there. A little bit across the knuckles there. A little bit across the knuckles there. But it's gonna be very selective about the blue, with the blue horror, as I keep moving my model off the screen. And by selective, I mean I'm going to fuck this up a couple times. There. I'm just gonna touch a few areas. And then there, and then the hip here. Yeah, sure. What should I do with the shoulder pad? There's one smooth shoulder pad right here. What should I do with that? I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take out some wolf gray. Get a dry brush. Maybe a bit more. Bit more dry brush going on here. And we'll get it, yeah, build up the layers like this. There we go. And then we're gonna get some, clean this out good. We're gonna get a little bit of buildup of wolf gray on that shoulder. And then I'm gonna try to put some blue horror dry brushing in the middle of there. That's what I'm gonna do. And that way I can, that way when I hit it with the Pterodon turquoise, it will thin out a bit. Well, when the Pterodon turquoise thins out a bit, it'll be the blue horror on top. Which I think will be excellent. I think it'll be just right. Need to be really careful about this. Yeah, right in the middle. You can see that this part's a bit brighter. Which is kind of what I'm looking for there. This part's going to be painted gold, so that's no problem. And this, the corner around here is going to be painted gold as well, so that's not really much of an issue either. Probably should have done dry brushing of that stuff over the model in general, but whatever. Alright. Do I just want to put any Pterodon turquoise on this wet palette? Not really. Let me go get a separate thing. Hold on. Okay, we're going to be thinning this out quite a bit. So this should work for our purposes. I got a little one of these things. Got a little one of these things. These have dried out ages ago. So they shouldn't get in the way. Damn it, I'm stuck. Come on, chair. Yeah. Hate this little rug thing. My chair does not roll over it very well. Alright, so Pterodon turquoise. Let's see if we can get this thinned down properly this time, so we're not as blue as this other model was. Yeah, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Alright. So what we need is some speed paint medium. I would use contrast medium, but contrast medium unfortunately got some red in it. So not what we need. Speed paint medium. But quite a few drops in that. We're thinning this out quite a bit. Alright, let's see how much that is. Let's see how much that is. That's pretty thin. Now I need a proper brush for it. This one's a bit too meaty, I think. Which paintbrush? Not that one. Maybe this one? Yeah, we probably could have hit that with a bit more. We gotta hit that with a bit more speed paint medium. It's a little blue. What do you mean? It's turquoise. It's good. Pterodon turquoise. It's gonna be turquoise-ish, but we kind of want it a bit thinner than that. Don't want it to apply so thickly. Want a little bit more control over that. And just go straight down. That's a little close. Get this all covered. And get his arms as well. There we go. Get some of the pool up out of there. You gotta always watch out for the pool up when you're working with contrast paints. It can sneak up on you when you're not looking at it. But just go back with your brush and just give it a little excess off your brush. Go back, give it a little tap, and just move it around a little bit and get it out of the. Make sure it's just not pooling up in any spot particularly too much. Get as much an even coverage as you manage. I'm having a swell day, and my dumbass decided to watch Hell's Reach, and now I'm not so happy. You fool! What have you done? It's really sad. What have you done to yourself? Try not to paint any part of the eyes. Fail miserably. You know, I don't like the way it turned out. Yes, no, I don't like the way it turned out at all. The lines just aren't so crisp. I think I want to start this guy again. The edge highlighting, I really did fuck that up a bit. Yes, I think I want to start that again. It came out kind of bad. Came out kind of bad. Unlike this guy who came out alright. He came out pretty good. This one's just, I can see already, it's not as clean as this guy. So I think I want to try that again. Yes, I think I want to try that again. But that'll be a next stream idea. That'll be a later time. This goes... Yes, here. Anyway, let me see on my paint. I wanted to finish that guy up really quick to see what he would look like with the Pterodon turquoise. Because I definitely wasn't feeling the edge highlighting on that. That one, the edge highlighting was kind of bad. So, makes sense. Makes sense when we get to the end of it, it just doesn't really look that good. It just doesn't look so good. if I had been cleaner with the lines. If I had been cleaner with the lines, I think he would look a lot better. Yeah, so next time we'll just re-go over him with Lead Belcher. We'll start from the beginning. We'll put Iron Hand Steel over him. Dark him down, Black Templar. Him with a Necron Compound. Black Templar again. And then the dry brushing over him. We'll do that all over again. But that'll be next stream idea. That will be the next stream. That's next stream Crooked Problems. This stream Crooked Problems is we're going to raid out. Yes. Because I think I'm going to be done for tonight. It's past 10 o'clock. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours. And I apparently have to get ready for something going on tomorrow. Maybe. We might be playing Borrow Trauma tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll find out. Let's see. Who is available for raiding? Let's do... Really not a whole lot of people on right now. I suppose we'll do Aliona, because Aliona's playing Total War Warhammer, which I think people would appreciate more. Damn it, every fucking time he cries. Aliona Karakov. Alright. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all. You can go off and have fun with Aliona. Everyone else on the other sites will just have to do something else, I guess. I don't know. So I'll see you all later. Goodbye.